Hello and welcome back to Cryptid Hauntings, the show where we ask the important questions like, is there a malevolent half-man, half-goat Christmas demon in your pants? Or is it just Krampus happy to see you? Tonight we're talking about Krampus, the horned Christmas punisher, the devil of the Alps, and the holiday monster that refuses to disappear no matter how many times people try to bury him. But before we unleash the horned demons of the holiday season, let's start easy. Chris, Pam, what did Christmas look like in your house growing up? Were you a cookie cutters and card family, a movie marathon family, or a Santa watching you kind of household?
We just kind of like hung out. I don't know. It's just
There's definitely phases, because when we were younger, so you guys would have been little, we used to make ornaments every year. We would do stuff with Mom's family, and then there was usually like a big Christmas party with Mom's family, but that ended.
I don't remember those, so that ended.
You guys
after
would
us.
have been like 6 or 7.
I vaguely remember your grandparents.
Because then they would also do like a New Year's party.
Yeah,
and that was your
remember-
grandmother yelling Yahtzee when we were playing Bunko.
I remember your uncle.
that.
Yeah.
Your uncle who recently died. I remember him being Santa at one point.
It wasn't him, it was his brother-in-law.
Oh, was it his
Yeah.
brother-in-law?
But
well,
no.
we were at his house.
We were at his house.
I do remember that.
Yeah, they ended before they moved south, but you guys would have been like 6 or 7 when that ended.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
Yeah. And then, so we used to do ornaments and stuff. Your mom every year wants to bake goodies, but she doesn't like to bake goodies, so we usually end up baking goodies at her direction.
I've already made like 3 batches of cookie dough this year because we're doing, I shouldn't tell you, we're doing cookie dough.
I know,
okay.
because I'm coming over to make other goodies because I'm giving goodies to
Because
some people.
and we're doing a Christmas party on the 21st.
Yeah, but we also have, 4 birthdays in December,
4
so we're kind of
birthdays.
rolling it all in.
And that's just on my side. On my other half,
Yeah.
so my wife's side, we've got like 6 or 7 birthdays.
Yeah, May and
December
December for
sucks.
us are pretty heavy. And then what other traditions would we do?
We'd sleep in the living
Sleep in
room.
the-
We
I
would
remember
sleep in
that.
the living room, but usually that was once we got the house we're in now. Before we were all in one room at one point anyway, so we'd all be in the same room. And then Mark, who isn't here again because he's sick,
Can't breathe.
would wake us up at 3:00 in the morning to go down and look at Christmas presents, and then make sure that we were all awake, and then he would go back to bed.
See, but Chris was that bad too. I remember several times him waking us up at 3 in the morning just to go look at Christmas. Because you can't do anything until Mom and Dad are up at
Which is
8.
like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
No, we weren't allowed to wake him up till like 9 or 10, and Mark would wake us up at 3. And then he would make sure that we stayed awake while he would take a nap. And then
I would organize the presents, and then I'd wake everyone up at like 6.
the big thing we all looked forward to, which has kind of calmed over the years, is your father would read the other wise men to us and blubber like a baby.
I
And
do
we
remember
used to
those.
take bets about how soon into the story Dad would start
I
crying.
remember him and his friend both reading and blubbering and hugging each other. And Dad's not a huggy person, so.
No, but we used to take bets on how soon into the story Dad would cry.
And then he quit reading.
And then he stopped reading it for a while, and then we got him to read it again, and then there was no tears, and we were all like, "What
Where's
is
the
this?
tears?"
That's what we're here for."
We want to watch a grown man cry.
Right? Maybe for the grandkids he'll cry.
We'll see.
Don't know. We'll see.
My wife tried to get me to read it to see if I would cry.
I'd say the one sister bought a really pretty illustrated book.
Yep.
So maybe we can get him to pull it out on the 21st.
We'll see.
Bless sister-in-law. He does things for her, which is weird.
I know, it is weird.
So maybe we'll have her ask him.
Yeah.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
So,
What about you?
what about me? We grew up in the same house.
I know.
What do you guys do for your family now? I mean, you both have families. What do you do for your family now?
The big thing in that weird no man's land between Christmas and New Year's as we go to the Festival of Lights here in town. So one of the parks here closes and they set up all sorts of Christmas lights and you can drive through with your car. So that was a family tradition of my husband. So we've been doing that with my kiddo.
We did that with the singles ward just last week.
We're doing that on the 19th for a child's birthday.
I need to ask about that because we're not going to be here in that no man's land.
You're not going to be there?
No, we're going to Texas this year, so... There's a Kirtan festival in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to a Kirtan festival in that for New Year's.
Gotcha.
So.
I can mention it to said person.
Oh, I just need to talk to my husband about it. She'd already told me about it. I just need to talk to my husband about it.
Okay.
Okay, I think this episode, Pam is going to conduct the conversation, so we'll turn the time over to Pam.
My presiding.
Yes, you are. You are the bishopric.
Yes.
Oh, we're bringing that into this.
Sometimes when he says things like that, that's what I like. It feels
goes
like.
to, yeah.
Sorry, I'm still a little brainwashed. I'm working on it.
Hey, I go to church every week, thank you.
Good for you. I do this instead.
This is my church.
What's interesting is that most of us grew up with at least a little fear baked into Christmas. Santa knows if you've been bad or good. Coal is always looming.
Why? Why is coal always looming?
Thank you for giving me my rant about coal.
Because it's useful.
It's useful. It's not useless. Why do you give it to the naughty kids?
You've been naughty. You get to heat the house,
Right?
That's useful.
So coal is looming. Someone is always watching.
But who?
If it was me, I'd give them cabbage.
Give them cabbage.
Cabbage is nasty.
Do you remember the year with the cabbage soup diet?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I would give them cabbage.
Someone is always watching, and when you zoom out, the idea isn't modern at all. It's ancient, which brings us straight to Krampus. If you've never seen him before, imagine this. Wild, bloodshot eyes staring back at you from beneath massive spiraling horns. A face that looks worn down, almost ancient, like it's been dragged through centuries of winter storms. A body covered in coarse, dark fur. Goat legs and hooves instead of feet. Heavy chains rattling with every step. And slung over his shoulder, a sack. Not full of toys, but full of naughty children.
Sounds like a good time.
So our children are in the sack?
Your children are in the sack.
Sometimes?
No,
Sometimes.
your children are there too. Your child.
He's a menace.
To South Central.
Okay. That image alone tells you everything you need to know. Krampus is not here to reward you. He's here to correct you. When most people think of Krampus today, they think of memes, horror movies, ugly sweaters, and those terrifying vintage postcards from the early 1900s. But Krampus wasn't created for entertainment. He wasn't designed to be funny. He was designed to be effective. To understand Krampus, we have to understand winter. Real winter. Not modern winter where we complain about snowplows and icy roads. We're talking about winter as a genuine threat. Winter that could starve you. Winter that could kill livestock. Winter that could isolate entire villages for months.
So I was looking it up. Their winter is their days are 19 to 20 hours of night. That's just nighttime.
Yeah.
So they get a brief period of
So they get 4 to 5 hours of daytime.
some sunshine. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at closer up to the Arctic Circle, so you're getting longer days,
That's
right?
downtown.
That's wonderful. We're up there. We're looking, Krampus is Germany, so they're a little bit higher than we are.
I was meaning the food place. Sorry, that was a dumb joke.
Whatever. But it's a thing. You're like 30 days of night.
Yeah.
It's based in Alaska.
Yeah, because they have
30 days of night. And that's where you're looking is areas where
30 days of night.
It's dark and it's cold. Across cultures, winter creates monsters. Monsters keep people inside. Monsters keep children close. Monsters explain why bad things happen when the world goes dark. And Krampus fits perfectly into that pattern.
And I mean, it's a telling thing. You want the kids to stay inside. You want them to be warm. You want them to be safe. Mm-hmm. And so if you have to make up a monster to do that, I mean, it's just basic survival at that point.
Well, it's like what we've talked about in the previous episodes, like the forest. You don't go into the forest. You will die.
Mm-hmm.
you create a monster for that forest, and that's what happens. And it's where all these old time stories come from, is from trying to keep kids safe and out of places they're not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. So our story starts in the Alpine regions of Austria and Germany, particularly in towns like Linz. For centuries, people in these regions participated in winter rituals known as Pertakenlof or Klaubauf.
Your German's just about as good as my Icelandic.
Is so rusty. I haven't done German since middle school. These were not parades for tourists. They were ritual processions. Men wore hand-carved wooden masks, horns, animal skins, bells, and chains. They didn't look human, and that was the point. They became embodiments of chaos, winter, death, and cleansing.
Have you seen these videos of their actual Krampus? It's cool. It's creepy, though, but you're like, man, that costume is like...
super metal.
It is. Yeah, it is super metal. You think of heavy metal bands wearing that.
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
But no, like, I was watching one, and the guy was talking about how many hours he's put into just the mask alone and then the costume, and it's a cosplay for Krampus. It is, their stuff is cool. You Google it; it's cool.
Maybe we'll have to do one of the like parallel with Springtime and the Green Man.
Yeah,
because they're fairly similar looking creatures, except that one is more. He's springtime ritual, so he's green and lifty, but like just the care and stuff that goes into those sorts of rituals are kind of the same that you're seeing with Krampus. So the goal of these rituals was to drive away evil spirits, bad luck, sickness, and the dangers believed to lurk in the darkness of winter. The noise, the fear, the masks. All of it was meant to scare something away, which, just to be clear, we are at Cryptid Hauntings, are philosophically opposed to. We support ghosts and we support cryptids, so let them stay.
Yeah, screw the Ghostbusters.
Who you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters.
We want ghosts here. We're here. We're haunted. Get used to it.
Over time, one figure began to stand out among these winter spirits. A horned being associated with punishment, misbehavior, and consequence. The figure became Krampus. Krampus appeared most famously on Krampusnacht, celebrated on December 5th. This is the night he travels alongside St. Nicholas, and that pairing is important. St. Nicholas rewards good behavior. Krampus punishes bad behavior. Together they form a complete system. Carrot and stick, gift and consequence.
Stick most literally, because Krampus carries around a birch rod that he uses to beat children that have misbehaved.
Well, in this part, in Austria and Germany, Saint Nick gives carrots.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a good analogy too, then, for that reason.
Children would leave their shoes outside their doors. Good children woke up with candy, nuts, fruit, and small gifts. Bad children woke up with birch twigs, and historically, these twigs were not symbolic. They were used. The belief was simple. Fear corrected behavior, pain reinforced lessons. And the harsher versions of the legend, Krampus didn't just beat children, he kidnapped them, dragged them away in his sack, or drowned them like kittens.
Poor kittens.
Poor children.
Yes, poor children.
Not the kittens, the children, Michael. Think about the children.
The children! It's dark, it's brutal, and it makes perfect sense in a world where survival depended on obedience and order. One of the most important things to understand about Krampus is this. He is not originally a Christian figure. He predates Christmas entirely. His roots go back to pre-Germanic pagan traditions tied to fertility, winter spirits, and underworld beings. His name comes from the Germanic word krampen, meaning claw. Some traditions describe him as the son of a Norse underworld god, or at least being closely tied to death, winter, and punishment, which explains why the Catholic Church absolutely hated him.
Yep.
There are documented attempts to ban Krampus celebrations as early as the 12th century, so that's the 1100s.
Yep.
Church authorities labeled him as demonic, pagan, and corrupting.
Which, he was.
During the Counter-Reformation takes place in the 1500s. So you have the Reformation, which is your Protestant Revolution. So this is your beginning of Lutheranism,
Okay.
the Anglican Church.
So all
So
the other
non-Catholic churches
Are now starting. To
are now
pop up.
starting, and that's the Reformation. And then you have the Counter-Reformation, where the Catholic Church pushes back on those
other
reforms.
churches.
Yeah. So and what they do is there's some decrees, and they really try to
Drive it in and saying,
their beliefs, and this is what it is. So you're seeing suppression is going to intensify. This is where you're also seeing like your Spain.
Spain. I don't know.
The Inquisition.
Oh. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
It's part of that Counter-Reformation because the Catholics are now bearing down on others to say this is what we believe. This
this is how it should be.
This is Christianity. So suppression intensified. Even into the early 1900s, governments attempted to stamp out Krampus traditions entirely. And yet, he has survived. Because folklore doesn't disappear just because someone tells you it's bad. It adapts. Krampus survived by attaching himself to St. Nicholas. He hid inside tradition. He became a cultural release valve, a way to express fear, discipline, and moral order during the darkest parts of the year.
So he's a Krampus when he gives us the coal.
Yes.
It's not Santa, it's Krampus.
So who is Krampus really? He's from Alpine Europe, so Austrian Hungary,
Austria and Germany.
Germany. He said 1900,
I
and
know.
then I went World War One, and
Your brain went.
my brain autopilot.
History.
It did. It autopiloted. He's a winter punisher who exists to balance reward. He's fear given a tangible form, and he's likely over 1,000 years old. Krampus is not evil for the sake of evil. He's discipline made monstrous. He's the embodiment of consequence in a world where consequences mattered.
Yes.
So fast forward to today, and Krampus has had a full cultural revival. He appears in horror movies, comics, ornaments, Christmas decorations, and pulp culture everywhere. But why now?
Not pulp. It's pop.
I said pop.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't have a
it's-
spoon to lick. I had some extra saliva in that mouth.
You weren't the spoon licker?
No, I'm not the spoon licker.
Are you the bowl licker or the pot licker?
No, she's meat hook.
Yeah, because that's
Sorry.
like Krampus.
Sorry, we were just talking about the Yule lads.
So why is Krampus popping up now? It's because modern audiences are tired of forced cheer.
I think it's a reflection of modern audiences because we've gone so far one way that we need the correction, and he is the embodiment of the correction.
But like last night, we were watching, or 2 nights ago, we watched stupid movie. It was White Christmas, and it's so cheery and uplifting, and it's like, this is so boring.
Yeah, but you watch Krampus and you're excited because it's entertaining.
It's on. It puts you on the edge of the seat, and it's like, what's going to happen next? This is kind of intense, you know.
He's that rebellion against the perfect Christmas narrative.
Yep, and I think that's why I like the movie Krampus,
I think
because it
that's
was
what
that way,
Hallmark needs, is a Krampus one.
where he finds love.
Where he finds love and inherits a Swiss village.
The woman leaves the good guy for Krampus.
Would be like Beauty and the Beast.
He really just wants to be a candy cane farmer.
Write it.
Submit it. It'd be entertaining. I'd
would
watch
be.
it. Have one of these guys build the mask for Krampus and the costume, and then make it real creepy.
Be
And
like the mask, and he turns into Krampus with the mask.
then, I'd watch it. What do you
Yeah,
watch?
I'd watch it. Okay, I'm gonna get writing. I have 2 books that I'm working on right now. I can't write a movie.
And by the way, he has a book coming out in
Just a few months, hopefully.
I was plugging for you. Sorry.
Thanks for the shameless plug. Anyways, Krampus, he's messy, he's dark, but he's honest. Modern Krampus parades still happen throughout Austria and Germany. Men wearing enormous handcrafted masks, fursuits, bells, and chains. They run through the streets shouting, rattling chains, chasing specters. It's loud, it's chaotic, and intentionally unsettling. It's not violent, but it's unforgettable. And that's the point. Krampus today isn't about punishment. He's about remembering where these traditions come from. A reminder that winter was once something to survive, that fear once had a purpose, that not all folklore was meant to be comforting. So the real question isn't whether Krampus is too harsh for modern society. The question is whether we've forgotten why he existed in the first place. Because in a world that feels increasingly chaotic, maybe it's not surprising that an old winter demon keeps finding his way back into the spotlight.
I think, I don't know. He's interesting. I think Krampus is interesting.
I think I really want to go to Austria to
see one of these. Yeah, I've watched videos on. I don't know if you've seen them.
No, yeah, I've watched them.
They are creepy. You do remember them, but it is kind of cool to watch because they like their costumes that they design. It's crazy.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on this special holiday edition of Cryptid Hauntings. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Cryptid Hauntings. You can email us at cryptidhauntings@gmail.com. Send in your cryptid or haunted experiences for future listener episodes. And remember, not all Christmas visitors bring gifts.
They bring switches.
We'll spook you later. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cryptid Hauntings. I'm Mike, also known as M. Gardner. As you should know by now, I've written a book, and it will be coming out June of 2026. I would like to share with you a passage from this book, if I may. His eyes were heavy with sleep. Al got a sudden shock as something licked the bottom of his feet. Moving slow as not to startle it, he propped himself up onto his elbow, which caused him a lot of pain. To his surprise, what was licking his feet was a large, multicolored mountain lion. It was bigger than the ones he had seen in the zoo. It was tan and brown and looked like a calico cat. Al's stomach fell about 10 feet. He was petrified with fear. What was he supposed to do in this situation? Trying not to make sudden movements, Al slowly laid down on his back. His mind blank. Al thought the best course of action was to reach out his mind to see if this majestic creature would mean him any harm. "You are not a normal angel," Al heard a gruff voice say in his head as soon as his mind touched the cat's. "No, I'm not. How can I understand you?" "I'm a Pantera. Any creature of power can understand me." "Are you going to hurt me?" "No, I just needed to get your attention. You may look at me now if you wish." The Pantera purred. That is just a small interaction of the Pantera, a god from another world that El interacts with. El is a young Nephilim whose parents sell his soul before he's born. He is then thrown from the human world into a world of monsters, angels, and demons that he knows nothing about. His one goal, the one thing driving him to face this world, is his soul. Where is it? Where can it be found? Would you brace hell and back for your soul? Come with me on this journey and see what lengths El will go to find out where he belongs in the world.